I'd walked past the bar 3 times a week for a year on my way to the gym. Last year's resolution: get in shape for my 40th. The big day was tomorrow. Last week my wedding dress fit me again. I was so proud. Unfortunately, no one seemed to care. My husband was interstate. My children, friends, work colleagues, too busy or indisposed. Even my parents were away. So tonight I wasn't walking past. The first drink disappeared fast. The second followed soon after. Joe bought me a third despite my discouragement. I'm married, 2 children. He wasn't deterred. He listened, smiled, then he made me laugh. The alcohol helped. I forgot my troubles. Later, an outburst of laughter meant our heads were close. Joe's moved closer, but I regained my composure. I'd best be going, I said, standing up abruptly. I noticed the bar had emptied out. The crowd either headed home or to another bar. The buzz in my head meant I wasn't driving. Joe accompanied me outside despite my protests. I'll get a cab. I'll get you an Uber. He consulted his phone. He'll be here in 5 minutes. We stood waiting. A cool breeze swept the deserted CBD street. I shivered. Joe shrugged off his coat, putting it around my shoulders. That caused me to shiver for another reason. He moved forward, putting his arms around me. Can't have you getting cold. I wanted to melt back against him. Decorum meant I didn't. The Uber arrived. A small sedan with a Middle Eastern driver. I was unnerved. A taxi was badged, registered. Joe sensed my reluctance. I'll come with you, make sure you get home. The look I gave him forced a clarification. I'll stay in the car, come straight back. I acquiesced. It was comforting. I leant back against him in the back seat. His arm around me again. This time it drifted higher. The thumb and forefinger flirted with my breast. I tilted my head back to peer into his eyes. Search his intention. He smiled and lowered his face until his lips briefly touched mine. The shrill ring of my phone broke the spell. My husband, sobriety returned. I let it go to message bank, not wanting to speak. The voicemail notification sounded, quickly followed by 2 texts. Where are you? Are you okay? On way home. Had drink after gym, long wait for taxi. Goodo ring you later tomorrow. Yeah right, I thought, as if you care. I moved Joe's arm and sat up. His fingertips brushed a very erect nipple as I moved. Silly girl, what have you got yourself into? I made sure there was some space between us. Anywhere here will be fine, I said as the driver slowed down. I quickly got out, not wanting to say goodbye to Joe until there was a barrier between us. He rolled the window down. Thanks for the drink and listening. We'll wait till you get inside. I glanced around at the house behind me. Sorry, that's not my house, it's the next street over, can't be too careful. Get back in Joe started as he opened the door. You go. It's just down the laneway. I turned, started walking, ending the conversation. I heard a car door close, then it pulled away. Footsteps behind me. Can't be too careful. Joe used my words. I kept walking. The laneway was dark, but I knew it well. Joe kept pace. I was almost at my street when my heels snagged. I stumbled, he caught me. I was in his strong arms again. Then his lips were on mine. Shortly after, I was up against the fence, skirt hitched up, legs wrapped around Joe's waist. Not here, I gasped, breaking away. We crossed the street in a respectable fashion. As I fumbled with my keys at the front door, he was on me again. I searched for the keyhole as my skirt went back up. My panties were pulled aside and his hard cock sunk into me. I braced as he started fucking me. I had to get inside. Turning the key, I pushed open the door. Surprise! It started as a raucous shout but died. There they were, my friends, my neighbors, my parents, my children. In the center, my husband holding a bottle of champagne. The cork popped, the fizzy liquid shot out as it slipped from his hands and shattered on the floor. Irreparable, just like my marriage.